Work with us here, folks, because this is breaking news and it is happening as we speak. According to the Israeli Defense Forces, 11 Israeli hostages have been released from Gaza in the last 40 minutes and are now en route to Israel. The freed Hamas captives, and some of them you are seeing on the screen, include 3 with French citizenship, 2 German citizenship, and 6 from Argentina. No Americans. No Americans at this hour. While the Qatari Foreign Affairs says 30 Palestinian minors and 3 women have in turn been released from Israeli prisons. This comes as part of a deal struck a couple of hours ago with Israel and Hamas to extend the 4-day ceasefire another 48 hours after the original truce expired today. So here are the numbers so far. Hamas has freed 69 hostages, exclusively women and children, in exchange for Israel's release of 183 Palestinian prisoners. It is estimated Hamas still holds some 175 hostages in Gaza, and it is just hitting the wires that the White House is saying at this hour, as best they know, the majority of those still held are male. 22-year-old Israeli Ilay David is one of them. He was kidnapped by Hamas at that Supernova musical festival on October 7th when the terror group attacked, slaughtering more than 1,200 civilians. His brother, Ilay David, joins me now live from Israel. Ilay, first of all, I can't imagine how agonizing this is for you. I'm sure mixed emotions. There are people who are getting to reunite with their families, and yet you still wait. Tell me what you know about your brother, Ilay. Have you seen any proof of life yet? Have you heard anything?
So the only proof of life we have right now from my brother is from that same day, the October 7th, 52 days ago, when we got actually 2 videos that Hamas posted on Telegram. And there we saw him alive. We saw him with one of his best friends. But that's it. From that day, nothing.
And may I just ask, so you saw the video. Have you been able to hear from the Israelis who have been able to speak with the freed hostages if they saw him, if they were with him at any point in the tunnels where the terrorists are holding them?
So right now, know that we don't know any new information. And I'm sure that when the freed captives will tell any relevant news, we will be the first to know about it. But right now, we can only imagine what's going on down there.
There's the ceasefire that's been extended 2 more days. Does that give you, I'm sure, hope, but certainly, again, mixed emotions here, because there are those who say that the longer the truce is extended, that enables the Hamas terrorists to resupply their weaponry. But I'm sure at this point you're just thinking about getting your brother back. Would you like to see more extensions of this ceasefire?
Yeah, of course. If it will bring my brother back sooner, of course, that I want the ceasefire to be longer. I also understand, and that's where the mixed feelings are coming from, that my brother, as a healthy young man, will probably be released from the last hostages. And that's really gives me goosebumps just to think about what he's going on through for all that time, and that he will be there for, weeks probably. So again, I'm full of joy and hope, because the dynamic started, and there's a foundation to make deals with Hamas, ISIS, which are the devil on earth. But right now, I'm only trying to think about what's going on with my brother, and I know that I have to wait so much longer for his return.
Well, I think it's also very important to point out, because some people don't quite understand this, that these are hostages. These are civilians. They were at parties. They were in their homes. They were asleep. They were on kibbutzes when they were stolen from their homes, whereas the trades are coming from Palestinians who have been arrested and are in prison because they have either been charged or convicted with crimes. Okay, so it's pretty much 3 for 1 at this point. What goes through your mind when you see that? For every 1 Israeli, 3 Palestinians are being released.
Well, as you said, my brother, the only crime he committed was having fun, celebrating at a peace festival with his friends. Today, he was supposed to fly to Thailand to his big trip with his friends. And instead of that, he's being kept in a dark room. I don't know in what conditions. I don't know. I'm just trying to think what he's thinking, what's going on through his mind. So with all due respect to the Palestinians, I really don't care what the deal is. I just want my brother back.
Yeah, you just want Aviatar back. Right now, billionaire Tesla CEO and SpaceX and Starlink CEO Elon Musk is in Israel. He has been touring Kfar Aza with Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, and he's been making some pretty dramatic comments, saying things like, those intent on murder must be neutralized. It's, you know, some people are saying this is great. We want the wealthiest man in the world and one of the greatest scientists and engineers of all time in Israel seeing the atrocities. He was apparently shown the video that is of people being decapitated, babies being stuck in ovens and burned, people burned alive, women raped. That's important because he's a controversial figure. He has retweeted some anti-Semitic things, and now he's in Israel, and maybe this is the path to learning and understanding. Does it mean anything to you that Elon Musk is in Israel right now and watching these videos and trying to understand what's going on?
Yeah, of course. I think that as one of the most maybe smartest men alive right now, and one of the biggest influencers. That's so very important for him to visit here. And I think that all of us, all the free world must demand such knowledge and try to understand what's really going on right here. As you said before, the Palestinian prisoners that are being released, they are convicted or suspected as criminals. So there is no symmetry here.
None.
If we try to look for it. And again, I'm sure that Elon Musk is also meeting with families and family members that their loved ones are maybe murdered, maybe kidnapped, as my brother. And yeah, that's so very important for us to have him.
Well, I hope that some people who have had trouble with critical thinking and understanding that one innocent hostage for somebody who's been convicted of a crime does not equal fairness. But regardless, we're with you. We just want your brother back. Ilay, thank you.